Great. So happy November, everybody. I am back with another episode, of course, equipping people of faith for the home buying process. This is Tamika Ellsworth, and yeah, today's a good day. Actually, the week is a pretty good one. But today, I have special guest Tiffany Walls on, and she is a fire prevention consultant. Her company is Maple Oak Exterior Fire Prevention Solutions, and she's going to talk today about fire prevention in and around your home. So, Tiffany, say hello to everyone.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Tiffany, and yeah, thanks for joining. I hope I
Yeah.
can give you some good information.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be really good information. Considering the fact that what we've experienced, what we just experienced with a lot of fire shoot. I was even the one calling you, like, hey, what do I do?
Right?
Where do I go? Give me some text. I
It's a
figured,
lot.
right. I figure I'm not the only one being a homeowner, and I'm in like a condo, so there's not a whole lot of stuff around me. But still, it almost impacted me. And I'm over in the San Jose area, which I would
Hmm.
have never thought that I would have been in the line of anything, right?
Right.
So we're going to get into a discussion talking about that. But I, I'd like to just take a little bit of an introduction and say that this week, is my anniversary. Yay!
Congratulations.
Yeah, celebrated 13 years of marriage, 14 years of being together. And, you know, I know I normally start off with scripture and something like that, but I think this is just for somebody like, when you come and you talk about things as far as being miracles, and especially with any type of relationship, and specifically marriage, man, it can have some ups and downs and turns and arounds for sure. Um, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful that through it all, we had some great examples of our own parents. I think his parents about 54 years, my parents about 43 years of being together. And, although, again, of course, not like we looked at their relationship when we got into our arguments and, hey, they did it, but we had to go on our own path. And, I'm thankful that when you have both parties trying to really make it work, both parties trying to really make it work, you can reach some pretty good milestones in your relationship. But again, it takes work from both sides. And hopefully, my prayer is, those that have been married or struggling in their marriage, especially during this time during COVID, that you like there's a spark of energy that comes that will be able to allow both people to see their wrongs, allow both people to see where they can improve, and allow both people to see that if this marriage truly was given by God, that where each person has their role, where each person's blind spot is at, so that you can get better, get past it, get through it, and hopefully continue together. It doesn't always happen that way, hey, but my
Yeah.
prayer is that it would for you. So that being said, just a little daily dose of just stick with it. And if someone else was celebrating a anniversary this week, happy anniversary to you as well. All right. So getting in about what we're talking about, I mean, shoot, fire safety, shoot, fire relationships too, all right? But fire safety in and around homes. So Tiffany, I have a lot of clients that um, have homes, and a lot of them have probably overgrown bushes and such, and probably have never had to experience a fire before. So when you come out and when you talk to people about the preparedness, explain a little bit about what you do and why what you do is so important.
Sure. Yeah. So, I also work in fire prevention with a within a wildland urban interface district, and I talk to people about the fuels around their home. I walk with people. I point out the different vegetation that could cause a risk or cause a spread of fire into their structure. So I point out certain things such as tall grasses. I point out invasive or non-native vegetation that they could remove or could clear up and maintain a little bit better, create some separation, move away from their home, create clearance for their roof, clean their roofs off. And a lot of things that I talk about is this defensible space is that 100-foot zone extending from your home. So you have the immediate zone, which is 0 to 5 feet. You have the intermediate, 5 feet to 30, and then 30 feet to 100, which is that that extended zone. We want to look at it in different ways. I look from the top to the bottom, from the roof to the ground, and then I look away from the home, away from the home. It's that buffer that you create for your home from the vegetation around your home. And I just walk with people, talk with people, show them what they can do. A lot of things are overwhelming. A lot of people have big projects. Some people have small projects. Uh, it's really simple sometimes is cutting your grass. You don't need to hire somebody for that.
Right.
Right?
That can be someone's chore too.
Exactly. People have kids and, kids might be restless right now and might want something to do. Cut the grass. Limbing trees. It's as simple as getting some loppers from your local hardware store and pulling them out and looking at trees and looking 6 feet up from the ground. If you can walk under it, and it's the hanging branches are come off the ground, you want to bring those off the ground. That reduces the risk of fire through ladder fuel. So fire climbs from the ground up into the canopy of the trees, and it
Mhm.
just carries on and it carries closer to your home. So we want to reduce those ladder fuels, and then we want to create that separation from your home. And just thinking of accessibility from with the fire department, when you create that defensible space for your home and you create that community organizing of everybody around you, creating that space around their home, you're protecting your homes, your families, your friends, your community members. And the fire department, their lives are at less of a risk when they come in there in the event of a wildfire and have to help evacuate, because they know that they have the space to come in and they have the space to come out because that vegetation is maintained.
What I've heard also too, Tiffany, and thanks for that explanation. But
Sure.
what I've also heard is like if for instance firefighters had the choose which one to go to, and if something is like
Yeah.
completely overgrown versus something that has actually been manicured, what would they choose? How do they determine what home that they're going to try to save?
I mean, they have to think about if their lives, and first and foremost, firefighters think about people's lives.
Hmm.
Structures come next, but they want to think about their lives and if they can even get in there to help other people's lives. So if you get that call to evacuate, especially if you're in a heavy, dense, area,
Hmm.
you want to listen to that. You want to listen to that 'cause fire moves fast. It moves uphill, and the more fuel, the quicker it's going to go. And thinking about the conditions, if the wind conditions are extreme, if it's windy, if we have this combination of hot and dry weather like we did, and then we had that rare lightning event,
Right.
you have to go. So they'll choose the less densely populated areas over the heavily populated dense areas, for
Right.
sure.
Right. And then I think some of the things, like for instance, even when I was kind of wondering, like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? Like, you know, even looking at different sites and figuring out, okay, where is the fire at now? Okay,
Hmm.
how far is it from me? What are some good um, websites or just kind of up to date information that you can look at to make sure that when they say evacuation, you kind of know where you can maneuver to.
Cal Fire is the best resource. I mean, I was volunteering. I'm also a volunteer firefighter with the Alameda County Reserve Firefighter Program, and I was able to volunteer at the SCU Lightning Complex during this event. People called in and they needed to know, where do I go? When do I go? What do I bring? Have your go bags ready. And we were able to give them road closures. We were able to give them which zones we were in or they were in. And Cal Fire has the most up to date information, and that's what we pull from. And as far as vegetation and different hazardous material that you want to think about or learn about, there's a great website that people use. Fire Safe Marin has a really fantastic website that is really helpful.
So in the next segment that we're going to talk about kind of that go bag, kind of like what things to actually put inside that go bag
Yeah.
in our next segment. But for if someone needed to get an evaluation for their home, their property, or their area, just in case we're hit again, because we're California. So just in case we're
Yeah.
hit again with this, how can they contact you?
They can reach me at my email. It's Tiffany at mapleoakexterior.com. or they can give me a call at 510 621 3881. Or they can, email's best. Respond to that and give me a call, leave me a message, and I'm very responsive. I really do, care about people's peace of mind, and feeling relaxed and at ease in their own home. There's a lot of things that are going on right now, whether it's COVID related or just existing. We want to go home and feel safe, and I want to help people do that.
Yeah, exactly. And you have, and truth be told, again, I don't know if I've thanked you enough, but thank you for being available, just even for myself, because I'm like, uh-oh, Almont Park is here. My home is
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and there's a big freeway, and we'll talk about that too, like some
Mhm.
of the things and barriers that you looked at, and you had helped me kind of ease my mind and thinking that, okay, I think I'm going to be all right,
Yeah.
for the very simple fact of what barriers were kind of between me and the fire. And then, and to talk to other people about that too, because we were talking about, okay, well, which area am I going to go to? Is it up north, up the freeway? Where am I
Right.
going to run? I
Exactly.
shouldn't, jump over a freeway and stuff. So we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about what things to actually have prepared, ready to go,
Okay.
if it is your time to evacuate. I remember when I called you, and we were going through the fires over here. That when the lightning had struck, and over here in California, and there's fires everywhere, like everywhere. You look at the
Oh
map,
yeah.
it's just I didn't even know where to go. But
Mhm.
one of the things that or some of the things that you had said to calm me down, I'd like you to share that. So I could, so a lot of people, they don't know, that's not like common knowledge on, oh yeah, there is a free, so what things, when you're looking at, fires or looking to evacuate, should you look for, and areas that you should look to maybe flee to if you needed to?
Well, in your case, there's some major freeways that create this fuel break. It's a fuel break because it's concrete. There's typically not a whole bunch of vegetation, or especially these major freeways that run through, um, you know, California, north to south of California. You want to think about, your exits. You want to think about your emergency evacuation routes. If the more evacuation routes you have, the better. If you can figure out what those are for you, if you know that you're in an area that is more urban, that helps, more concrete around you. It helps to find a place to go. If you have friends or family, you can plan ahead of time and say, hey, I'm going to come to your place in the event that this happens. You have a whole bunch of fire breaks around you. I'll see you soon. That's a good idea to just know what that is before you go, and just preparing your go bags. When you do that, you want to have everything ready with you. You want to have your supplies. You want to have your batteries, flashlights, first aid kits, pet supplies, change of clothing, warm clothes. Second pair of clothes in case something happens. Gloves, glasses. You want to be ready, just to grab and go.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
so in speaking about that, so evacuation. So speaking about a go bag, what are some of you? I think you mentioned some of them too, but let's talk
mhm,
about that. What are
mhm.
some items in a to go bag that really are essential, just in case you're going to have to be displaced for a little bit of time, or maybe a
Sure.
lot of time.
Right. Right. You want to have food because, businesses may be shut down, or shut down because of
Mhm.
fire or because of COVID. You want to have food that'll last you a few days. You want to have, good pair of shoes, boots, in case you have to get out and do some walking. You want to have your, long sleeve. You want to have leather gloves, some goggles. Make sure you have your masks, not just, for health reasons, not just for COVID, but also for the smoke. Water bottles, energy bars, medications. Make sure you have your medications ready to go. If you know that there's a fire, if you need to get something filled, get your prescriptions filled as soon as you can. Battery powered radios, sanitation supply, yeah, your toilet paper, feminine hygiene products, wipes, diapers if you have babies. Again, pet supplies, your carriers for your animals, your leashes, pet food and water.
Mhm.
um, your some of your valuable items, if want to take some pictures, or some things that you want to hold on to, those moments that you've created with your family, that kind of helps us get through some of the hard times. You want to maybe bring some of those, and don't forget your kids.
Right,
And your husbands and your wives.
right, exactly. Exactly. Look, or your chargers too for your
But
phone.
right, several chargers. If you have those extra, battery plug-in chargers, you want to bring those in, computers, laptops. That's right. Blankets, hats,
Right.
all of that.
Well, see, because I was thinking too, like, hey, if everyone's kind of driving to the same place, it's like you're gonna be in gridlock for a little bit. So yeah, you might have to walk it
Right.
versus sitting here use your car. I mean, might be a better to actually kind of walk somewhere versus
Mhm.
trying to use your car because everyone's going to have their car going that same way,
Right.
and I'm sure it's going to be gridlock in certain places too.
Right. And some people plan in different communities, they plan to ride share, to go together. Some
Hmm.
people plan to park, they'll walk down to their car that's parked in a destination that has more evacuation, like the availability of more roads to evacuate. So
Hmm.
they'll ride their bike down or walk down, get in their car that already has their supplies in it, and then go from there. That way they're not gridlocked on their street or in their neighborhood for just way too long in the
Right.
event of a major evacuation in heavily populated cities with
Right.
some of this dense brush. Yeah.
Right. And going back a little bit to kind of what you do around the area, what if
Mhm,
someone has because I've had some of my clients have pools. So I know
mhm.
that pools are actually really good from what I hear, really good kind of like barriers for maybe valuables and stuff that don't want to hopefully get fire damage. Explain a little bit about pools around your home and how those can actually be used for good.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the department, they may take water from the pool. They may, drop down, use a helicopter and get some water from the pool.
Mhm.
Some people want to set up their hose and they want to, be a firefighter themselves, just go. It's just time to go. If they need to draw from that, they may be able to. They don't use it as much as people think that they do, but it's nice to have it if it's uncovered. They can use it. Also, a lot of people don't realize, we have a lot of items that are around our home outside that aren't trees and bushes and plants. We have um, you know those seat cushions, we have umbrellas, we have brooms and items outside that we use to clean our ground, the ground, and for comfort. You want to remove those, bring them inside, or throw them on top of the pool. Bring them inside, move them away from your home, because a lot of those items have petroleum in it. This is the biggest thing about wildfire is ember cast. A lot of times homes don't catch fire, structures don't catch fire because of direct contact from the fire or
Mhm.
radiant heat. It's from embers, it's from that wind that's carrying embers. That's why it's so dangerous. They land on people's roofs. They have a roof that's littered with pine needles, or their ground is littered with vegetation, and that's how that fire moves into the home. So we want to make sure that you're moving these items away from your home or inside of your home. Close your windows. Secure your home before you leave. Open your
Yeah.
gates. If you have a gate that closes and touches your home, open
Right.
that
Right.
gate. Create
Hmm.
that fire break if that fence catches fire.
Hmm.
Clean under your porches, your decks. You want to get that leaf litter from under there. And a lot of vegetation that people have in their homes, juniper, bamboo. If you can't get rid of it, reduce it, move it away from your home, because that stuff burns. It's intense and it burns big and it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing that I heard about, well, that was kind of interesting. Like if you have china or something like that, or stuff that, you do want to try to save, or, not pictures, but maybe family heirloom kind of stuff, throw it inside the pool. And that'll kind of sink to the bottom. I don't believe that the fire will sit here and kind of, you know, go underneath the pool though, but still that's one area, one way, it's coming to, hey, they can't get under the water, so try to throw
Why
it
not?
inside the water, maybe it'll get saved.
Why not? Yeah.
um but lastly, before we close, as far as the masks are concerned, because obviously we have our masks that we need for for COVID, but
Mhm.
what type of mask should you have a separate mask for this, or is the mask you use for COVID good enough?
It's great to have an N95. I mean, a lot of people are wearing N95 masks for
Mhm.
COVID, and then
Mhm.
sometimes we're just wearing a bandana. or a simple piece of cloth. There are these little filters that you can put in your mask that do give you that protection. But protect yourself as best as you can. Especially people that have issues with their lungs, younger people. I know we all want to protect ourselves the same way, but we want to make sure that if you have that N95 mask, that's pretty much best way you can go. Cover your nose, cover your mouth, same thing. We've been practicing this for the last how many months now.
Right.
Um, you know, it's not odd anymore to have a mask on your face on this side of the world.
Right.
And it's important to protect those lungs from that smoke, because whether you believe it or not, that it might not do damage right away.
Mhm.
But with the amount of fires that we've had and the intensity that we've had, the damage could be a lot worse than we prepared for and what we've considered over the years.
Right. So Tiffany, again, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're coming to a close, but I think what you do for your community and just the communities around, I think is just great work. And give a shout out again to how people can contact you in order to get you to evaluate and consult around their property or their businesses.
Again, my name is Tiffany Walls. I started my business, Maple Oak Exterior Fire Prevention Solutions. My email is tiffany@mapleoakexterior.com. And you can give me a call at 510-321-3881. Be glad to, do as much as I can to help you create that defensible space around your home.
No, and I really appreciate the health and the calmness that you gave me, even via text, on
Yeah.
what I could do for my own place, because I was freaking out a little bit. I mean, I'm just
Oh yeah. Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
I was.
No,
This thing was right over the freeway, and luckily, thank God for our firefighters and what they do, and luckily
absolutely.
it was contained. But those of you that want to get in touch with me and you're looking for your own home, you already know I'm here for you. And with the faith of being able to buy a home even during this time of COVID, as crazy as it is, I'm still here for you. You can contact me at Tamika Ellsworth. Tamika at TamikaEllsworth.com. That's my email, TamikaEllsworth.com. Or you can catch me on TikTok, real estate _T, or Instagram, Tamika Ellsworth. Number 408-561-7922. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope today was pretty informative. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you next week. Tamika Ellsworth, Faith in Home Buying, equipping people of faith for the home buying process. Thank you so much.